I'm speaking with Merritt Tierce, author of Love Me Back, which I feel incredibly lucky to have read a very advanced copy. So my questions for you, I mean, I loved how you responded to the question about, which was written in a very politic way on the website, about basically it was sort of about gender inequality in the literary world. And I loved that you answered the question really honestly, because I think a lot of people shy away from talking about that topic. And so some of the questions I'm going to ask you, which are basically about sex and motherhood, are probably only questions that would be asked of women. But I thought that the sex writing in your book was really amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that a lot of literary writers avoid writing about sex, or at least not in a clear way. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't even know that that's what is happening. And so I wanted to know what you thought makes writing about, what you thought good sex writing, what makes good sex writing, or what makes bad sex writing.
Wow.
It's a big question. Yeah.
Yes, and I hope to never win one of those bad sex writing awards.
Right.
But I love that those exist. I think that sex writing, like sex, is very easy to do poorly, and it takes a lot of time and intention to do sex writing well, but I don't think you can write good sex unless you've had good sex. I mean, I'll just put that out there. So I guess this book draws from autobiographical experience deeply, and I guess what I usually rely on when I'm writing about anything is what feels the most honest, and I also think that's the only way to have good sex too. So yes, thanks.
Thank you for being so honest.
Right.
And why do you think so many literary writers avoid writing about sex?
Besides the fact that they're not getting laid, no. I think there's a general prejudice against sex as, I think you feel vulnerable to being categorized as a certain kind of writer, and literary writers are very conscious of, avoiding all of those, potential sand traps. And also I think sex is so complex that it's hard to write about, which is, I'm not trying to say anything about myself as a writer, but I just think that it's a really challenging interaction between people, and it's hard to capture. Right. So,
when did you give yourself permission to think of yourself as a writer with a capital W?
I don't know if I even have done that yet. I mean, I've only recently, within the past year or so, started telling people that I'm a writer when they ask me what I do. I mean, it's hard to claim. It just feels like I have to expect different things from myself if I tell other people that's what I am. And I don't even know I don't know what it means to me yet to be a writer. So, yeah, because inevitably if I say I'm a writer, people say, what do you write? And then I don't know how to describe what I write. And it seems weird to say I write books. I mean, you can't write a book until someone decides to publish you, which is a great event of good fortune. So I tell stories, I guess, is more accurate. But
I was excited because I have 2 children when I heard that you had children, and a question that people ask me a lot is, how do you do it? Which sometimes I feel a little frustrated because you just do it. But I imagine that you've been asked this question before, and how do you balance, and how did you balance writing, working, sometimes more than one job, the children, I loved that story that you told about, I think it was your fiance forcing you to go
Yeah.
away. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I think I don't think there is a balance in my life anyway. I think it's severely out of balance. But that's just the way it is, and I've sort of learned to roll with it. It's extremely hard to write when you have kids that you know you're trying to be involved with, I guess. And I guess I mean I'm really fortunate that my children have always understood me better than I expect them to, and they're proud of me, and I've always gone with my instinct that it's okay for me to pursue what makes me happy, what drives me, and what I need from life, and that I've just sort of trusted that will make me a better parent, and it's absolutely true. I mean, at least in my life, that's what I've discovered over the past couple of years when a lot of things have come together in my life. I have suddenly really enjoyed being a parent more than I ever did, and it is directly related to the way I feel about myself, and I think it's okay that it was a little rough for me and my kids for a long time, and that now it's amazing. I mean, so yeah, but as far as writing when you have kids, I don't know how to do it. I've never figured that out. I could get up at 4 a.m, I guess, but it's not just a matter of squeezing in the time. It's more, you know, I just feel like I'm always doing more than one thing, and I'm always in several different places, and it's hard to focus, you know, when you're trying to be responsible for other people and animals and a relationship. And so
I'm gonna watch this video when I'm having one of those days where I'm like, ah! Because it's great to hear that, and you know that was great.
Thank you.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
What makes you laugh?
Wow. My husband. I mean, I have a strange sense of humor. I never have any desire whatsoever to read or watch anything that's comedic in nature. But I love to laugh, and I find really odd things funny, and he knows what they are. So that's one reason I married him. But language entertains me a lot. That sounds kind of nerdy, but I mean, I made a pun when we stepped out here. So yeah, words make me laugh, actually. So
Well, you're in the right place.
thank you.
And I can't wait to get a copy of your book so that I can have you sign it.
All right,
someday.
I will. Thank you.
Great.